Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful Monday, and we have so much to discuss about our favorite people in Port Charles. Grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's dive right into the madness, because this latest episode left us completely speechless, and we need to unpack every single detail right now. I literally cannot believe they actually shot Josslyn Jax. I am typing this so fast because my hands are shaking. We all knew the Windermere hostage situation with Ross Cullum was going to end in absolute chaos. But seeing Josslyn actually take a bullet and need urgent medical attention at General Hospital? I was screaming at my television. And of course Carly is absolutely frantic. Because let us be real for a second, how many times have we seen Carly Spencer pacing those exact hospital floors, terrified that she is going to lose one of her kids? I mean, I have been watching since 2015, and the amount of trauma this woman has endured in those GH waiting rooms is insane. She is completely losing her mind, screaming at everyone, and poor Lucas Jones is just trying to be the rational doctor brother. He is pushing her to just be patient, telling her that Josslyn is in good hands. But you cannot tell Carly to be patient when her daughter is bleeding. But wait, I am getting ahead of myself. We need to talk about how Josslyn even got to the hospital, and what happened with Z. Because apparently, Josslyn Jax is a total badass now. She actually took Cullum down. Even in her wounded state, she fought back, and now the mysterious head of the WSB, Z, is looking at her like she is the next super spy. I know some people are loving this action hero version of Josslyn, but personally, I am so conflicted. Z is literally standing there in the hospital, completely impressed by her, saying he sees big things in Josslyn's future with the WSB. Are you kidding me? Carly is going to lose her absolute mind over this, and frankly, I do not blame her. She just wants her daughter out of this WSB nightmare. Carly ends up clashing with Z right there in the hospital, and it is glorious. Because if there is one thing Carly is going to do, it is fight a massive government agency to protect her family. She is not about to let Z recruit her daughter into a life of international espionage and getting shot at on random islands. But you know what? Part of me thinks Josslyn might actually want this. She has been so rebellious lately, and taking down a guy like Cullum has to give her a massive adrenaline rush. I am dreading it, but I kind of think Josslyn is going to say yes to Z eventually. Okay, back to the point. We need to talk about Lulu because I am so mad for her right now. She finally finds out the truth. Lulu discovers that Cassius Faison has been posing as his twin brother, Nathan West, this entire time. She is reeling, and honestly, she should be. She realizes she was romantically involved with a total fraud. But you know what the absolute craziest part of this realization is? It is the logic she uses to prove it to herself. Lulu guesses that the real proof is her. She realizes that the fact that Cassius fell for her is the ultimate evidence that he was never Nathan to begin with. Because the real Nathan West, he would have been all about Maxie Jones. He would have moved heaven and earth to get back to Maxie and their life together. Like, duh. Am I the only one who has been screaming this at the screen for months? I remember when Nathan and Maxie were the couple of Port Charles. Their love story was iconic. So for Lulu to finally have this light bulb moment and realize that a real Nathan would never have chosen her over Maxie is just brilliant writing. I have to give the writers credit for that one. It is heartbreaking for Lulu because she feels so used and violated, but Dante Falconeri is right there to fill her in on the rest of the Cassius development and console her. Dante is being so sweet to her while she is feeling overwhelmed, and I am not gonna lie, seeing them share these quiet, supportive moments makes my Lante heart flutter. I know they have so much baggage, but seeing Dante step up to comfort her when her world is crashing down just reminds me of why we loved them together in the first place. So while Lulu is having a total emotional meltdown, we have the teens at the PCPD causing their own brand of chaos. Molly Lansing Davis is trying to play the responsible lawyer figure, warning Charlotte Cassadine that going off script could mean major trouble for her and Danny. But does Charlotte listen? Of course not. Charlotte is a Cassadine. She does what she wants. Charlotte turns to Lulu for assistance, and that is when the whole ugly story comes spilling out. And I mean all of it. Charlotte drops the massive bombshell that Carly was hiding Valentine Cassadine in her attic not too long ago. I gasped. Carly is so busted. Lulu is going to absolutely explode when she processes that Carly, of all people, was harboring Valentine while he was a fugitive. The fallout from this is going to be nuclear. Carly is already dealing with Josslyn getting shot, and now she is going to have Lulu breathing down her neck about Valentine. And speaking of the teens, Danny is in the interrogation room defending Jason's innocence. Because of course he is. Danny Hero worships his dad, and he's going to defend Jason to the bitter end. He knows Jason took the fall for Rocco shooting Cullum, and Danny is determined to protect that secret while also protecting Jason's reputation. It is so messy, and Molly is just pulling her hair out trying to keep these kids from incriminating themselves or their parents. Wait, let me catch my breath, because we have to talk about Britt Westbourne. Britt is finally back in Port Charles after being extradited from Tortola, and she is sitting behind bars. And who comes to visit her? Her mother, Liesl Obrecht. Liesl somehow makes it off Spoon Island after the whole Windermere hostage crisis, and goes straight to the PCPD lockup to confront Britt. And let me tell you, Liesl has some nerve. Liesl confronts Britt over all her deception, specifically having a massive problem with all the secrets Britt kept about Cassius. She calls her daughter out for her shady motives, and I am just sitting here screaming at my TV. I mean, really, Liesl? You were going to lecture someone about keeping secrets and having shady motives? Remember when Liesl held Robin Scorpio hostage? Remember when she did a million other terrible things in the name of Cesar Faison? Liesl is the queen of deception, but I guess that is what makes their mother-daughter dynamic so fascinating. They are both so incredibly toxic, but they understand each other on a level that nobody else does. Liesl is genuinely hurt that Britt knew about Cassius and kept it from her. She feels betrayed that her own daughter would hide the fact that she had another son running around wearing a dead man's face. It is a phenomenal scene, but I kinda wanted Britt to just yell back and tell Liesl to look in a mirror. Sometimes I contradict myself with these two because I love them together, but they are so awful to each other. And then we have the Dante and Rocco confrontation, which honestly broke my heart into a million pieces. Rocco finds out that Dante is the one who had Britt arrested in the British Virgin Islands, and he completely blows up at his dad. Rocco is screaming, crying, grilling Dante about how he could do something so cruel to someone they care about. Rocco genuinely believes that Dante betrayed them and threw Britt to the wolves. But here's where I have to defend Dante, even though I was furious with him last week. Dante claims he is trying to protect her, and when you really think about it, he is right. Dante insists that he thought it would be safer if Britt were locked up in police custody instead of out on the run where she could be targeted by Ross Cullum. And we know that Cullum poisoned Britt's medication. If those cops had not busted through the door and arrested Britt for kidnapping, she would have injected herself with that poison and died right there on the floor in Tortola. Dante's mysterious phone call actually saved her life. But Rocco is a teenager. He doesn't see the big picture. He doesn't understand the WSB politics, or the lethal reach of a guy like Cullum. All Rocco sees is his dad putting handcuffs on the woman who was trying to protect him. It is such a tragic misunderstanding. Dante is standing there, taking all of his son's hatred and anger, knowing that he did the right thing to keep Britt breathing. I just want to give Dante a hug, and I rarely say that because he can be so frustrating sometimes. So where do we go from here? Josslyn is bleeding in a hospital bed with a WSB recruiter hovering over her. Carly is fighting a war on two fronts, dealing with Z and soon dealing with Lulu's wrath over Valentine. Lulu is mourning a fake relationship and realizing the ghost of Nathan West was just a cruel joke. Britt is sitting in a jail cell getting lectured by the most hypocritical mother on the planet. And Danny and Charlotte are just making everything worse in the interrogation room. I know some people are loving the fast pace of this summer storyline, but personally, I am exhausted in the best way possible. I need them to slow down just for one episode so I can process my feelings, but we know they won't. I am predicting that Josslyn is going to wake up and tell Carly to back off because she wants to hear what Z has to say. I am dreading it, but I know it is coming. And I am betting that Lulu is going to march right into General Hospital and confront Carly about Valentine while Carly is crying over Josslyn. Because this is Port Charles and nobody has any sense of timing. Am I the only one who feels like this is all building to a massive explosion? Cullum might be down, but the WSB is swarming. I am going to need a lot more coffee to get through the rest of this week. Let me know if you guys are as stressed out as I am, because I definitely need to share this with people who actually get it.